Hello again. Well, I haven't done a video for a while, partly because, I don't know, lack of get up and go maybe, but also I haven't had much coming in recently. It's partly because I haven't found anything I found particularly interesting. I've also had a couple of things that didn't work out. The last one was basically what happens is I normally pick up my stuff at the local supermarket, you see, in case I'm not in. They've got a sort of a parcel drop-off place there. But the last one managed not to be able to find it. So I spent some time, talking to the people on the web chat, discussing how, a driver could miss a 60,000 square foot supermarket. And they said, okay, we'll get you a 2-hour delivery slot at home, and then they took it back to the bloke I bought it off. So I got the money back anyway. So one of the things I thought I've had done, I thought I might do for a while, is that I've looked at some interesting records I bought, LPs. I don't really want to call them vinyls, and this came about because back in the old days they used to have records that would be sold by hi-fi magazines to test your system. And I was looking for one for a while because I thought, well, it might be a way of doing this a bit more sort of scientifically. And I was looking online to find one, and I came across this. And this is Hi-Fi Demonstration Record, a musical test of your phonograph performance. And I got this from quite a while back. It's from Atlas Records. It says they're packed by Holly, and I have to say Holly did a pretty good job because this is in quite good condition and arrived very well packaged. Okay, so when I initially saw this, I thought that, it's one of these test discs, but no, actually it isn't. It's a live recording of a band, and it was recorded in 1981, and it's an interesting thing. But partly because I've looked on Tidal and Apple Music, and there's no sign of this band. The band is Hi-Fi, and there I have found you can download this if you want to pay for it. Okay, so who are Hi-Fi? Well, they are contain Ian Matthews and David Surkamp, and who you might know. Ian Matthews, famous for things like Fairport Convention. Well, I was more interested in this because of David Surkamp, who's a chap that used to be in one of my favourite bands. And this goes back to when I was a teenager, and I was sort of going backpacking around Scotland, and I met some Germans, and they played me this, and I thought this was fantastic. And that's this record, and that's Pavlov's Dog, Pampered Menial. And this was David Surkamp's band back in the 70s. And I thought it's a lovely record. I was trying to work out how to describe David Surkamp because he's got this very kind of individual voice. I think that the closest thing to it maybe is Geddy Lee, and so you can imagine that kind of like this high-pitched voice, and add in some sort of Fergal Sharkey's vibrato, and you kind of got David Surkamp. Anyway, he did this album which I absolutely loved, and then I think it must have done a lot better than that they thought it would, because they brought out this the second album, which is At the Sound of the Bell, and it looks like they shoved a lot more money into it than this, because on here there's there's a lot more people. There's High Wycombe Boys Choir, Mount Fjord Orchestra for strings. Looked like the drummer jumped ship, so they got in a session musician called Mr. William Bruford. So he's pretty good, and spent a lot more money on it. I thought maybe it's a bit more polished, but odd enough, I always preferred this one to this. Anyway, getting back to this. This came out on Butt Records, which I've looked and aren't in existence anymore. That's but B-U-T-T. This came out in England, and but means a different thing over here maybe than American. I didn't really know it's got an American connotation till I started watching The Simpsons, oddly enough. But so maybe they didn't know about this. But over here in England or Britain, but means you might call it a big barrel where they store rainwater, that sort of thing. Anyway, so I had listened to this, and I really like it. You know, it's got quite an interesting selection of tracks. There's stuff from David Surkamp, stuff from Ian Matthews. There's a couple of covers. There's a cover of The Shadows. Also, one of my favourites, which is John Martin's "Man in a Station." I do love John Martin. Anyway, so there we go. I thought it was something, and it turned to be something else. So I hadn't heard them before. Bit of rare vinyl. Hope that's of interest. Thanks for watching.